Alright, so I'm going to share some of the tools that I found to be helpful to me. One that I love that I learned about kind of in the last quarter, but I'm loving it now, is the class notebook. And this, I can set up different pages. I'm able to add and remove students, and this really allows more of my instruction and that paperwork part of it to be more digital. So all of my students are able to access these kinds of visuals and do their responses all in one notebook. I love that if I had separate classes, I could distribute the assignment, whatever assignment that would be, to different sections, or just distribute the page if I didn't want to send an entire section down. I also love that I can add teachers. Since I work in an inclusion classroom, it's important to me that I can share whatever notebook I'm using with other teachers. And you can have as many notebooks as you need with as many pages as you need. So I found that to be very, very helpful. Another thing I love in OneNote are the learning tools. The immersive reader, I have a lot of students who are still learning to read, and the immersive reader helps with that. The dictation portion is fantastic for my students who are slower typers, or for my students who are struggling to write and spell phonetically. I have several students who use co-writer as assistive technology in the classroom, but this is a way that they can use the technology they need without using a different program. So they like that, and I like that as well. Now when I go to check out some of the extensions that I found, this is just a web page on Christopher Columbus, somebody that we've been learning about with the European explorers, and I found several that I liked. One is Google Dictionary. My students always have questions about what words mean, and this dictionary allows me to not have to come by and tell them every time. It will go ahead and give the definition for it, which is very, very helpful. Our students do a lot of research. They do a lot of project-based learning. We're working on our STEM certification, so they do a lot of independent research or group research, and it's always helpful when they can get some definitions for what they are reading. I also loved learning about the Mercury Reader. A lot of the pages, especially for social studies, I feel like more so than anything else, have a lot of that extra, the ads and things that they don't need. So this really helps to streamline those websites. So I loved the Mercury Reader for that. I downloaded that immediately. I also love Visor. I like that you can change the colors because I have different students with different needs, and colors really affect how they see things. So this I found to be very helpful. You can make however you need it to be. So I would definitely show the students how this would work, how they can make the words bigger or the line bigger or smaller. But this is great for tracking where they are reading. It's definitely a little bit harder as they're reading on the computer, and so I love that this highlights just as it would if they were reading using a reader in class. And so those were some of my favorites. I also went ahead and got the Read Aloud. Didn't mean to click on that. And this is my last one, the Move It thing. A lot of my students need a lot of physical movement to keep working. Some of it's written in their IEPs, some of it I've just noticed that it helps. And so this is definitely one that I will have up whether I'm doing a full group lesson, or I could even have this for some of the students who just need it in class. Some of them are small, like squeeze your right hand firmly with your left hand. That's something that they could do individually. And some are bigger movements where they can go play rock, paper, scissors with a partner around the room. So I love this. You can set the timer for it, whether it's at 5 minutes, 10 minutes, all the way to 55 minutes. And it has different exercises. And this will stay up until you are done with the exercise, and then you can hit done and you are back where you need to be. So those were my favorite new programs that I learned about.